2002. Well, the conversation for this hour is important because it affects the leaders of tomorrow and in some cases the leaders of today, as we have been promised. I've been trying to connect with my guest. That has proven difficult, but hopefully before the end of the conversation, I will establish connection. But between now and then, let's talk. The police in Edo State have arrested 21 secondary school students for allegedly planning a violent cult attack. The students reportedly circulated a voice note threatening to burn down a school and harm students and staff. Police spokesperson Moses Yamu says knives and chains were recovered. 8 of the suspects have now been remanded, while 13 were released to their parents and guardians. Good looking out to the police for swinging into action as quickly as they did. We're glad they were able to get a hold of that WhatsApp message and do something about it. Because I'm certain that the public schools in Edo State, like Rivers and many states, also need attention. So if you burn down the available ones, you're causing problems. But of course, this opens yet another door, exposing the rot in our beautiful country. This is not exactly shocking. It's not the first time you hear that students in secondary schools engage in cult-related activities. But I remember once upon a time, where if you talked about cultism, you were talking about a university. As a matter of fact, going to school, a lot of parents advise their children, 1, your relations with the opposite gender. I got those series of advice from my parents, as I'm sure many people did. Father would say, as you're going to school, be careful, don't get somebody pregnant. You know, that's how they say it. They don't want to say it like that, but they want to say it. Say, remember why you're in school. All these school fees we are paying. Remember, don't go and do this one. Focus on your book. All these girls, they will come. They will want you. They will touch you. They will do this one. I say, yes, sir. I will not get anybody pregnant. Take it from me. I don't even engage in such activities. Then, of course, they will tell you to face your studies, to graduate, pass your exams in flying colors. Your mother will tell you to look for one good church. Can't remember everything they said, but usually they will also tell you not to join a cult. Right? If you got that talk from your parents going into school, cultism was a major concern with universities because they told me not to join cults. They told me not to impregnate anybody's daughter, to face my studies, to go to church. What else did they tell me? I'm sure there were some other things, but I remember these ones. And it's possible you got that same advice as well, because apparently parents have a manual. They all belong to one WhatsApp group where they tell them, this is the advice we give your children. But the point I'm making is cultism used to be a scare with high-level education. It used to be a concern. Why? Because for a lot of people, that is maybe the first time that they were leaving home to go far away where the parents are not exactly monitoring your every move. In secondary school, I went to a boarding school, so I left home at some point. But while I was in secondary school, the scare was not about cultism. They used to advise me based on the company. Don't keep bad friends. That's how they said it. But then I don't remember anybody telling me not to join a cult in secondary school. My parents were always, the company you keep, don't join bad friends. And what is the effect of joining bad friends? Your studies will suffer. You will start doing crazy things. But, But now, I'm guessing parents have to start giving that advice earlier. Because these boys were going to burn down a school, harm students, deal with teachers, and maybe even kill people. Let me take it again. In Edo State, police arrested 21 secondary school students for allegedly planning a violent cult attack. The students reportedly circulated a voice note threatening to burn down the school and harm students and staff. Police spokesperson says knives and chains were recovered. And if you maybe get deeper into this, it might also be that they are going to the other school to go and fight cult boys in that school. And usually what you will see is maybe one boy from that school came to this school to check one girl. One girl that all the boys in this school have checked, she did not agree for them. Then she now started smiling for a boy from the other school. They say, oh no, it doesn't happen like that. No. This guy one date one Kechi. We must show them who we are. Again, might not be the case, but usually we've heard of stories like this. So 21 of them said, Friday is going down. Where we'll get knives. Say your mama no get knife for kitchen. So they got knives. Those people who have dogs in their compound, they got the chains from the dog's neck. Some didn't have weapons. They came with stainless plates. We are going to that school to shut it down. Nkechi must come back to us. Friday. Set up a WhatsApp group. Sending messages. The voice note circulating, spreading like wildfire. Started with 5, moved to 10, 12, 15, 21. Then suddenly, the voice note got into the phone of somebody who was close to a police officer. So, waiting with this. A man is going down. Meanwhile, this was Monday. And they were supposed to go Friday. Tuesday, police said, nope, you are going down. Anyways, enough of the imagination. Let's come back to reality. So now there are concerns about cultism in schools, secondary schools. My questions are simple. How prevalent is cultism in secondary schools in your community? Is this only an Edo thing, or has it crept into your community? I remember we had, I hope it's still the case, my school, Unizik, and for all those who went there, they would attest to this. There was an anti-cult unit. There's some people who were members of anti-cult. Of course, by the title, you know what their job was. But there were also allegations that those anti-cult people were also the cultists. But that one is not our business. We have graduated. Let them continue what they were doing. So do you think that secondary schools now need a special unit, a task force, an enforcement team to crack down on cultism in secondary schools? Most importantly, what signs should you look out for if your child or student is being lured into a cult group? And you know, sometimes when you tell your child, please avoid bad company, your child might be the bad company. That your son might be the one that is dangerous for other people's children. But hey, what do I know? 08179230002. I think I'm going to try to reconnect with my guest. 08179230003. WhatsApp is 080-903-06416. Please turn off your radio as you call. It's very important. Help us to help you. The only way to advise a stubborn child who wants to take to the vices in the society is to take them to the correctional centers for a visit by their parents or guardians to see the inmates languishing. They will make better life choices. Clinton, Mr. Fresh. Yes. We see of those stories that parents will take children to prison to go and see where they will, how they will end up if they don't change. And we always used to hear that the kids will come back with renewed... There's a fresh perspective on life. You're like, wow, I don't want to end up here. My brother, don't go carry picking where you think go. Now that I ain't go say, oh, more. That thing where I been no one do yesterday, I will do it today. B.O.B. from Mbiama. Hello, B.O.B.
Good evening.
Good evening.
This issue you brought about school children autism, I always say this, and I'll continue to say it, until we follow the pattern of God who created man. In fact, we said marriage, and said, train up a child the way he should go. If you don't train up a child, training includes living a life, not only talking. The child should follow. Children believe in do as I do, not do as I say. What they see you doing, like now, you are chasing or you are committing adultery or doing whatever thing first with children, don't follow. You tell the child, those things. And your child cannot justify your source of income. Whether you are a political party member, a politician, or you are building house, buying car, and your child is not sure of your source of income. And you can't explain that sort of wealth. You tell that child, don't do Yahoo. The child will do Yahoo. Or you tell that child, say, don't do this. And you are spending money on the child. The child don't know the source of that money. You go that way. The same thing. And I say that until they start arresting parents for the crime done by their children, it will not stop.
Yeah, but B.O.B.,
the child will be something else in society.
There have been upright. Hello.
Hello, I'm hearing you.
There have been upright members of society that had kids who were just something else. You know, people who were responsible, and their kids turned out very badly. So would you blame the parents for that?
Then, yes, you can say that is external influence. External influence, which you have to do a homework. Know who your children are.
Hello? Okay. Clinton calls from Bori. Hello, Clinton.
Yes, Marco, good evening to you.
Good evening.
Yeah, most of the cases we are having in schools, because I teach in the school.
Oh, nice.
Is failure, parental failure. Yes, the school is an environment of learning. We'll teach our students, we'll culture our children. But majority of the work is to be done by the parents. And when the parents fail in their primary duties, we have students that we cannot manage ourselves alone. But I know I have a principal that is well disciplined, because we have cases where the students misbehave, and what the principal does is immediately calls the anti-cultism unit and they pick them up immediately. So I think that our parents need to do more. Yes, there are some children that are very, very stubborn, that even despite the efforts of the parents, they still go ahead because of friends or peer pressure, they get to join some of these bad groups. But they still have a role to play.
Okay, Clinton.
Because I know growing up. Hello.
Yeah. Let me ask quickly. You said anti-cultism unit. Is that with the police, or the school has an anti-cultism unit?
No. Not with the school. The police. The police calls the police immediately when there are cases like that.
Okay.
Although they're on a real basis, it's not that it's common. It's prevalent in my area, it's not prevalent in my school. But when we have cases like that, the principal immediately calls the police and they take them out.
Okay. I wanted to understand that. All right. Thank you very much. We'll take a break. When we come back, I'm hoping I can connect with my guest. Stay with us.